We desire to go to Jerusalem because in the scriptures 3 times in the year you are supposed to be able to go on a pilgrimage to Jerusalem to pay your respects unto God. Why do they not want us to go to Jerusalem to take off? Our fathers in former times went in multitudes unto Jerusalem. Who is it that desires that we not go to Jerusalem to pay our respects unto the omnipotent God?
Spiritually oppressing on my people like Malachi 3:8, pass the plate, let's teach. Read the whole chapter, you pastors is like Hosea 4:6, don't forget not teach. Ezekiel 8:14, they weep for who? Who's that? The cross is a lower T for that deity. Do your research. Jeremiah 23:27. Forgot his name for Lord, sharpen my sword for the kneel to the floor, say no more, repent. Y'all gotta repent. Luke 1:5, the course was Abijah. 1 Chron 24 verse 10. Ha! Now I know the birth of the Messiah. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 1 though. Mentally enslaving all my people like fair. Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people fair. Walk up in the church, tell the pastor like fair. Let him go. Mentally enslaving all my people like fair. Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people fair. Walk up in the church, tell the pastor like Pharaoh. Let's go. Leviticus 11, still people eating swine. Isaiah 65 verse 4, no swine. Isaiah 66 verse 3, no swine. Okay. Oh, you gonna need the New Testament, right? Matthew 5:17 through 19, listen. 2 John verse 6, this love I listen. Romans 2:13, now what? Who said? I said that. Read Exodus so we can exit this. Sage our boys here, chillin', drippin' spiritual. Oppressing my people, wondering 40 years. Yahuwah is my savior and king, now listen. Yahusha means the father is salvation. John 3:18, you see why believe. Mentally enslaving all my people like fair. Say what? Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people fair. Can't walk up in the church, tell the pastor like fair. Straight up. Mentally enslaving all my people like fair. What? Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people fair. Walk up in the church, tell the pastor like Pharaoh. Let's go. You gotta have faith, but according to the Romans 9:1-5, why you lie? My flesh is of Yasharel, you better tell. ASAP, man. Psalms 83, crafty counsel I see. Got us working on Shabbat, on Sunday preaching. Psalms 91, in him I trust Yahuwah. Yeah. Okay. Deuteronomy 28, it all relates. Atlantic slave trade back in Egypt now. 2 Kings 17, 5-19. Continue to read though. Romans 11, don't boast up, listen. As we return, this fire burns in me. Yeah, Baruch atah Yahuwah Avinu, translate that. Hebrew, I mean.
But if the trumpet does blow, we are concerned and we are troubled. But let all the inhabitants of the world know we're not afraid. Stay in your places. Do not leave the village of peace.
Shalom, shalom. Hope everybody out there had a good Shabbat. Mine was a little slow. I ain't gonna say I had a good Shabbat like that. They all can't be good, but it is what it is. But it's a lot been going on. I know we ain't been on like in about 2 weeks now, but I got a lot going on, y'all. I'm trying to, well, I'm not trying. I'm working on this house, that we just got. And it's a lot of work that need to be done. And I'll be tired as hell, and it's just me by myself. Well, my wife, she be helping or whatnot, but what I'm saying, as far as another man, but it's just been a lot going on. But it's been a lot going on in this world too, that we got to talk about. We got to discuss, man. The atrocities that's still taking place to this day with our people or whatnot, these hangings that's going on with these college students or whatnot. Not only that, but as you can see with the thumbnail, they just said that what's his name, Kyren, Lacy, was not guilty for causing an accident of somebody, getting unalived. And this young man took his life, and that's just, a tragedy right here. Let me get his picture up here. Cause this is some bullshit, man. It's like, come on, man, and the title read, they stole his life. Bombshell evidence and body cam footage. So they got body cam footage. Reveal police allegedly fabricated. Ain't no allegedly. They did it. Let's just get that straight. They did it. Fabricated a case against LSU star Kyren Lacy, driving an innocent man to suicide. So this is a college student, a football player, you know what I'm saying? He with LSU. I think that's Louisiana State University, if I'm not mistaken. But they drove this man to commit suicide, and he not the first one. Let's talk about it, y'all. He not the first one who probably, committed suicide, afraid of what the government was gonna do to them, or these the authority was gonna do to him. It's a sad story, you know what I'm saying? And then for them to come up, I don't know how many months later, I forgot when this happened, but it wasn't too long ago. Probably a couple of months or 4 months, I don't know, y'all. If y'all familiar with this case or whatnot. But this man committed suicide. This young boy, I can't call him, a man. Yeah, he's still in school. This young man, he committed suicide because he probably felt like he was going to go to prison for the rest of his life. And he probably wouldn't have went to prison for the rest of his life, but he probably had that in his mind to get him to do this, to commit suicide, man. It's just a sad tragedy, and, I think about that scripture about oppression making a wise man angry. And it's like if you're not getting angry or you're not mad about this, like something wrong with you or something, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what the hell, man? It just grind my gears. It grind my gears. People need to be talking about this. You know what I'm saying? People need to be outraged about this. Not only this, but the other atrocities that's still being played out as far as people taking the lives of our young black men or whatnot. You had these hangings that went on, and then I don't know if I'm saying it wrong, all right, but the football player, Kaepernick. I might be butchering his name, y'all. Y'all forgive me now. But I should know his name because, you know what I'm saying, my man, he be standing up for his people. But he offered to pay for another autopsy. I don't know if y'all familiar with that. Let's watch this video here, because this man, he's explaining more about the situation and whatnot. I don't think this is the one with Kaepernick. Let's see. Okay, no. Matter of fact, let's look at Willie D. And he, you know, I know he got more of the story or whatnot, and we'll be back to elaborate on this. So I'll be back in a minute.
Family. Trey Reed, a 21-year-old black student at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi, was found hanging from a tree on campus. Local authorities, including the medical examiner, was quick, I mean super quick, to rule his death a suicide. But the family was not buying it. With the help of Colin Kaepernick and his organization, Know Your Rights Camp Autopsy Initiative, I broke the news earlier today with Krista Muhammad of the New Black Panther Party on my Willie D Live channel that the autopsy revealed Trey had a fractured skull in the back of his head. He had contusions. He had bruises on his back and buttocks, meaning that they stomped him, fam. They didn't just bust him in the back of the head and kill him. They stomped him. Now, you got a lot of uncivilized mutts out there who are mad at Colin Kaepernick, even more mad at him because they were mad at him when they first heard the news announced that he would pay for the autopsy. They were saying things like, because the investigation, the official investigation, had already ruled the death a suicide, that Colin Kaepernick should just leave it alone. The critics argued that Colin inserted himself into the case for publicity, suggesting that his involvement was an inflammatory move that cast undue suspicion on an official ruling. Now, why would we have undue suspicion on an official ruling? I mean, our elected officials and law enforcement and all these people, they're so honest. Why would anybody ever doubt them? Yeah, fam. Some of them accuse Colin Kaepernick of paying for the autopsy to stay relevant. It's Colin Kaepernick. He's in the history books. He's going to always be relevant, whether you like it or not, you uncivilized mutts. Yeah. See, what they're really mad about, fam, is that they couldn't just sweep that under the rug. Like, yeah, kill another black, hang another black, just sweep it under the rug. What are you poking around for, man? Leave us alone. Go back to the big city. Yeah. They also said that he was just trying to create controversy. Also, they said that he was fueling racial tensions. The critics argued that Colin Kaepernick's high-profile involvement and the history of racial violence in Mississippi would unnecessarily stoke racial tensions by suggesting a cover-up where authorities found no evidence of foul play. If Mississippi is indeed...
Okay, y'all see that. And, you know, I got my brother Lenzel, Shalom, brother Lenzel. I got his post up here. And it says, I'm sure college campuses have cameras everywhere. Facts, man. Come on, you can't get around cameras being every goddamn where these days. I mean, I'm scared to do anything once I go out this house. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's a camera some goddamn where, somewhere, at somebody's house or on a goddamn light pole somewhere. And for this to be a college campus, they got to have cameras on these goddamn campuses or whatnot. But who's in charge of the cameras? Who's in charge of these colleges or whatnot? They not finna let information out like this. You know, they not finna, help the black people, the community or whatnot, to bring whoever did this to justice or whatnot, man. And for them to go at Kaepernick like this, it's crazy, man. It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we got to gain? You know what I'm saying? As far as him coming out of his pockets and paying for a legit autopsy or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't got no dog in this fight. He don't. Myself, I think my man genuinely care about his people or whatnot, you know, because he lost a whole career for standing up for his people. You know, let's not forget about that, you know, but myself, I know better not to trust the coroner's office, the police. I couldn't trust them. I couldn't. You know, it's just like the scripture says, never trust thine enemy. You know, and the majority of the coroners, the authority and all that, they the enemy. Flat out. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of our people don't like to accept that, but it is what it is. It just is what it is. You can't cover your eyes and say I can't see shit. It's all around us, you know? But let's get another video of somebody talking about this. And I'll be right back.
You said hateful, sad case of some people. I'm trying to figure out how the hell do I see crickets on the internet? Ain't nobody gonna call it what it is. Ain't nobody gonna say what it is. You mean to tell me 21-year-old Trey Reed was found hanging at Delta State University? First off, the first thing that they said was there was no foul play. Immediately, we had to ask questions. They went to do an autopsy. Keep in mind, we still don't got no footage from the school. But Delta State University, I'm on your ass. Went and did the autopsy and said that it was suicide, no foul play. They was quick to say. But what they did not expect was Colin Kaepernick. They wasn't expecting nobody to stand together for this situation. They just thought they could sweep it under the rug. They thought we was gonna forget. But I'm looking at social media right now, I'm like, damn, it looked like we did. Trey Reed was an example of what they can do. Trey Reed was an example of what they think they can do. Trey Reed was an example to show y'all ain't gonna speak up. Colin Kaepernick did. And for some time, it looked like social media and everybody else did too. But y'all mean to tell me no news coverage is covering details right now? About what's happening right now? The fact that they lied completely to the parents? The fact that they lied to the entire world? It took Colin Kaepernick to do what their job was to do. And here's the update. Autopsy is saying this man had a fractured skull from the back of his head. Had contusions and bruises. His back and his buttocks. Wasn't suicide, this was a brutal beatdown. Notice the media is silent. Notice ain't nobody talking about this. Brutally beating him. I mean, based on what they saying that happened and where the bruises are, that's the only thing you can think. And they hung him. They hung a 21-year-old black boy and ruled it a suicide. Now, social media is mad at Colin Kaepernick because he should have just let it rest. Every time I see something happen, they say, oh, we're too sensitive. I'm gonna tell you the truth. The more you keep censoring yourself, is the more it's gonna keep happening. Y'all telling me y'all trying to hold Colin Kaepernick accountable for finding out the truth because everybody want to talk about the truth until they hear the truth. Everybody want to know the details until they find the details. Every news coverage is quick to put out a black man got hung. But every news coverage ain't covering this story. All of a sudden, the focus is on Diddy. Tried to leave it alone. Y'all keep saying I yell too much. But where the hell is the outrage? People are literally pissed off about Cardi B situation. Pissed off about Starbucks closing. Pissed off that their electric bill went up. But a black man gets hung and nobody got nothing to say? DHS, Delta State University, all the cops that was involved in this case, everybody needs to be held accountable. Because there's no way y'all didn't know. They still don't got no names, no proof, no camera footage, nothing. But I told you. When the truth comes out, because it always does, because God don't play about his people. Just wonder how many people gonna share this message. Because y'all are damn sure share some drama. Trey Reed did not unalive himself. Trey Reed has no camera footage. Trey Reed has no justice. Trey Reed family was lied to. If y'all think we gonna let up on this shit, y'all sadly mistaken. Because if they can do that to Trey Reed, they made an example that they can do it to anybody. It don't matter if you white, black, brown, green, orange, it don't matter. They can spin a narrative however they like it. But when the truth comes out, they silence it. And if nobody told you, remember Chemo told you, stay motivated, and if we don't choose to come together, it will be controlling our destiny and we will not get an option. And I ain't just talking about black people. I'm talking about all of us.
Well, I beg to differ on that. You know what I'm saying? I see my man. He got a lot of energy for this situation that happened. I'm just worried about my people. I don't give a shit about the other nations. But, you know, a lot of things he said was right. You know, our people worried about goddamn Cardi B and P. Diddy and how much goddamn time he getting. And, you know, this man he was murdered. He was, you know what I'm saying, lynched. And there's no outcry. There's no, you know, like, I mean, I scrolled Facebook and I seen probably about a couple of stories, you know, about this situation. You know, other people talking about how hot it is and all that shit in October. And it's like, y'all don't see what's happening. My son is 21 years old. So, you know what I'm saying? This is something significant to me. You know, I worry about him all the time. You know, because he don't live up under our roof no more. He out there by himself. So, you know, I'm very concerned. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that he understand what type of system that he living in and whatnot. That he just can't be going here and going there and, you know, just think everything is gravy and you know, he know who the enemy is. But again, man, this is sad that the tragedy happened to this young man. Ain't no telling what he went through. What, you know what I'm saying, caused this, you know, I mean, man, we can just, you know, like, wonder what happened, but we don't know what happened. And y'all know how they do. They hide every goddamn thing from us. You know what I'm saying? They talking about how Kaepernick trying to start race tensions and all that shit. Man, it's like, for real? Or do Kaepernick know how you evil ass wicked people roll? You know, and a lot of our people, they need to wake up from this goddamn wonderland that they in and shit, and thinking everything is goddamn good. You know, like, I've been watching on TikTok this guy, Officer Tatum or whatnot. You know, he's so far up the white man ass. You know, you can't even you can't even recognize him no more. You know, he's unrecognizable. The things he said about his own people and how much he glorified, you know, Massa or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? He outdoing Uncle Ruckus Uncle Ruckus ain't nothing compared to this man right here. And I remember us talking about this. If you can remember, Lenzel, and we always say, if our people out here talking like this man or standing up for this corrupt system and and Massa or whatnot, then either they got a white spouse or they got somebody white that's in their family or whatnot. And because I didn't know, Right. Exactly. Right. Because I didn't know he had you know, a whitey wife or whatnot. But yeah, I can't neither, man. But man, he you know what I'm saying? He got his them spots on his eyes real good, man. I mean, he really, if he was, if kissing the white man behind was a job, man, this man would be rich. This man right here would be rich. But let's get to a video on him, a couple of videos, might I add. And we're going to start with this one right here. What the hell going on? We're going to start with this one right here, and I'll be right back.
He goes, I don't take money from Israel. I don't take money. Oh, you do it for free then? Wow. Wow. Good boy. Good boy. Wow. Good job. Good job, Ossifer. Ossifer, please. I can't breathe. Ossifer. Good job, Ossifer Tatum. You do it for free. Good boy. He's shilling for Israel for free. Don't even need to get paid. That's a good boy.
Julia Stomp sent $25.
The best.
Day two of asking Nick.
Watched a clip of Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit and Brandon Tatum. They were debating each other. Of course, Tatum's pro-Israel. Myron Gaines is not. And they were talking about the $7,000 that Israel is paying influencers for posts. And Brandon Tatum said that $7,000 is not a lot of money. It's chump change. And that just shows you that these people with these big platforms have left reality. Listen, guys, it's no disrespect to people that are making $100,000 a year, over $100,000 a year. But this is here for all the people that are at that cusp, $100,000 and under. Because I know people in my life that are making $100 grand a year and they're living paycheck to paycheck. These influencers are out of reality. $7,000 isn't a lot of money for one post. Takes me a month to make that much money. Are you kidding me? And that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with elites and people that have been spoon-fed and they've been at the top of society for a number of years, and now they've left reality. They don't care about the working man. They don't even like the working man. But yet they want to play this game where they act like they are the working man. You're not. You're one of the elites, and we see what time it is, and we're on to y'all.
Okay, and all this thing from Tatum debating Myron or whatever his name is. He debated them about the stuff that's happened over in Israel or whatnot. And, you know, dude, you know, he got the same narrative or whatnot. He for them white people. You know what I'm saying? He just for them, you know. But we know why though. And it's just as I said, and Brother Lindsay, he said too, his wife. But let's look at some of the video of him in the debate with the other guy from Fresh and Fit. I guess that's where he's from.
I support and believe in Israel spiritually and support the state of Israel, the Jewish state. And then also, they're our biggest ally for a reason. And I'm in full support of that.
So you think, you're saying like from strategic purposes, can you kind of elaborate on that a little bit more as to like why you think they're a good strategic partner or are valuable ally?
Yeah, because I'm an American first person, but I'm not an isolationist. And I understand that there's value in America having strategic partners all over the world to help us in defense, to help us against common enemies. And I think Israel's position in the Middle East, and they've been just that. I mean, in order for us not to have our troops fighting on the ground and dying for every war that goes on in the Middle East and fighting against enemies that hate America, they wish death to America, we have strategic partners like Israel. And with technology and other things that Israel brings to the table, outside of our Judeo-Christian connection, that's pretty much why I think that they are a partner for us and why they are beneficial in America, for American interest. And we can see that on a lot of scales. We'll get to it in as we go through the conversation. But there's many fights, wars, and battles that America don't have to fight because we have Israel.
And this man right here, he just, y'all see, I really ain't got to say nothing about this, but I got more clips of him, you know what I'm saying, trying to defend them people, right? And here go another one right here, but dude that he's debating gonna shut him down and call him stupid or dumb, something like that. But let's get into it.
You know what?
For the 15th time, you're
actually
100% wrong. Benjamin Netanyahu, the
lie.
longest serving prime minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, the longest serving prime minister in Israeli history, has made at the center of his entire career thwarting a Palestinian state. He has said this in his own words
Yeah, I don't think
over and
that- I
over and
agree.
over again. You don't know what you're talking about. If you
You're
think that
lying.
Israel has just been
Fact
trying,
check.
no,
People
you're
that are
just
watching this
dumb.
fact check
You
it.
don't know what you're
Every
talking
single-
about, dude.
Now you want to attack
You're
the
calling me
state
a
of dumb.
liar. Yeah,
Address the
you're calling
issue.
me a liar, dude. And you're full of shit. You don't
Because
know
it's
shit.
factual.
You don't
I'll
know
tell you,
anything
I'll
about
tell you.
it.
Officer
Every
Tatum.
Got on some
single-
idea
Wait a sec.
for it.
Wait
You
a
don't know
sec.
shit.
Wait a sec.
Hey, his zaddy went off on him, didn't he? But Brother Linzel just shared a verse, and man, he couldn't have came with a better verse. And it reads, this is Proverbs 11 and 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. So whatever this dude's, you know what I'm saying, as far as how much he want to join them, they still gonna get what they gonna get. Ain't no running from it. And if you with them, if he continue to be with these people, which I believe he is, or whatever, and I hope that he repent or whatnot, but if he continue to be this way, you know what I'm saying, then he gonna get the same thing they gonna get. Off the rip. Ain't nothing he say, ain't nothing he gonna pray. You know, he can pray to stop the Most High from doing what he gonna do to these people. It's already in the books. Ain't nothing he can do about it. And then it's another one. Let me see. Oh yeah, this is another video that, he talks about his own people and, you know what I'm saying, put the whitey on a pedestal. Let's check it out.
A lot of black people that talk bad about me and be hating on white folks. Look at what white folks are doing in America and look at what y'all doing. Yeah, that's some stupid ones, but by and large, white folks doing better than you. White folks' community safer than yours. I keep it 100. White people got a pretty significant track record of building this country. Yo, your track record ain't as big as the Civil War. You remember that war? All them white people died, and you end up free because these white people died. Come on, man. Just pump your brakes. What you should be doing is saying, I'm thankful for the Lord that he gave me an opportunity to be here, and I'm thankful to the people that came before me that made it possible for me to have freedom. Okay. And I'm not saying there were no black people that was in part of that, but I'm saying majority of it was white people. Because if the white people wasn't significant, then Africa would be prosperous, and everybody be living in Africa. And I'm not saying Africa is all bad, but none of y'all want to live in Africa. Why is that?
Man, god damn. This dude, man, ooh. I don't know what to say about this guy, man, but I don't wish harm on none of my people or anything like that, but then I'm wondering if he even our people, man. You know what I'm saying? Just because he, got dark skin, that don't mean he kinfolk or whatnot. His grandfather can be, a pink booty. But I just can't get that these people be so smart, but yet they don't know about history or what happened to history, how we got here, how this land was taken, how white people is in the place that they are now. They benefiting off of what their ancestors did, and what their ancestors accumulated or whatnot. We never been in the position to hand down inheritances or whatnot to our sons and our daughters or whatnot. We never had that chance. You know what I'm saying? Just go back through your family lineage or whatnot and see how many times something was left for your family where y'all prospering now. It's not that many. It's very few. And for him to put them people up on a pedestal like that, man, it's like a goddamn slap in the face to your whole race. Like, what the hell is these dudes thinking about, man? Like, I'm just, it's crazy how these dudes get up here and have these podcasts, 9 times out of 10, it's some elderly people looking at this man and cheering him on because he's putting his own people down. They ain't got to do it. It's cats like this, you know what I'm saying, that's doing it where they don't need to do it they self. Oh, let them talk about their own race. Let their own people talk about them themselves. And he ain't the only one. He not the only one, man. Right? But there's a lot of other things that's going on this earth. I know y'all been hearing about these wars. United States and Israel talking about attacking Iran again. United States talking about attacking Venezuela. United States still meddling in the war in Ukraine with Russia or whatnot, and Russia, Putin, he just threatened and let them know, like, y'all taking this somewhere y'all don't want to go. Y'all taking this somewhere that y'all don't want to go. But let's look at this video of what this guy's talking about with Putin and them. And I'll be right back.
All right, so we have seen a response from Russian President Vladimir Putin, Moscow, signaling to the West and the United States that they are ready for a nuclear confrontation. This is what we're hearing, that a nuclear response is potentially on the table here. We are hearing in headlines coming out all across the news media outlets today that Russia has claimed that it has shot down U.S.-made ATACMS missiles and is issuing nuclear threats now to Russia, to the United States, and to Ukraine, and to NATO. And let me know your thoughts. Now, is this just posturing by Russia in response to what has unfolded over the last 24 hours as we saw Ukraine use those U.S. missiles, launch them into Russia? We saw them launch those attacks. Is this just them posturing? Are they bluffing? Or is Russia now to the point where they are saying they've had enough and they are ready to actually launch a nuclear weapon, maybe at Ukraine or European nations? We're hearing these warnings, these threats coming out to the United States. Let me know your thoughts. Drop a 1 if you think that this is just...
All right. I want to read this comment that Brother Lindsay put up here. And it says, cut my check and I'll show you, and I'll show him who wants to live in Africa. Exactly right. Right, man, because, we are a good example, the old family. We're a good example or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You just can't go over there and just move over to Africa and you ain't got no funds like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about no goddamn 50,000, 100,000. That ain't even enough. That's not enough to go over there and try to establish you staying there for the rest of your life. Or whenever you die or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You got to have more money. You just got to have more money, man. That money will run out like it ain't nothing, for real. You know what I'm saying? I'm a witness of it. I experienced it. So it's not like we can just get up and just go. You know what I'm saying? If it was like that, we wouldn't have came back, right? But with this Putin thing, you know, just like I said, he keep warning them. How many times you think he gonna keep warning them and he not do nothing? Because we know what the scriptures say. We know what the scriptures say as far as about Iran, the Medes, right? We know what the scriptures say about Russia. Who was that? Megan or whatever their name is or whatever. But we know that they gonna posse up and they gonna come at America and Israel. You know what I'm saying? It's prophesied, man. And I believe in this Bible wholeheartedly. You know, America is still falling. Babylon is still falling. It's not getting no better. They just shut down the government. What was it? A couple of days ago or whatnot? And a lot of people losing their job from them shutting down the government. So it's not getting better for America. It's getting worse. Look at the things they doing in Chicago with this ICE stuff. You know what I'm saying? They just locked up some of our people. That's not even Puerto Rican or you know, Mexican and none of that stuff. They actually locked up a black woman and held her for whatever reason. You know, and you know, we got to be on alert and watch where we going and stuff like that, because it's a lot of stuff happening out here, you know, that we can't control. You know, it's playtime is over with. You know, I know people like to have fun, but sometimes fun can get you fucked up. Let's just keep it real. Sometimes having fun can get you messed up. Innocent bystander. Oh, they was just here celebrating their birthday or whatever. How many times y'all heard that? Or somebody being out, they celebrating their birthday, and they lose their life. I mean, it's coming to a head. You know what I'm saying? As far as a lot of things that's going on. You know, this dude, the dude that got assassinated on national TV, you know, that caused a lot of tension. And it was like, you know, like, what we got to do with that? Oh, because we ain't mourning and we ain't crying and none of that. Then it's our fault. We got to pay for this. I mean, but I got another video of Charleston White, and he's speaking about this cat Kirkland or whatever his name is. And you know, the people, they trying to cancel him because of some of the things he said. But this Kirkland dude, he didn't get canceled for a lot of the things that he said about black people. And I can't believe that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people ain't heard of this dude. He's all over TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff, man. But let's listen to what Charleston White got to say.
They trying to make it seem like black people ain't worked to accomplish what we done accomplished. And they forget they ain't built shit. So when I heard Charlie Kirk talking, all I heard him talk about is negative rhetoric, negative points, negative statistics about black people. What about the statistic that today's black fathers are more involved in their children's life than any other ethnicity? So why he's saying, well, single mothers now, you must forgot Southern strategy. Let's tell the whole story. We've been duped and tricked. We have never had a fair shot. You talking about redlining, Jim Crow laws. So homie, he acting like the playing field been even amongst black people and white people. But I'm telling Kirk and all this people, black people are not y'all problem. We're not building missiles like North Korea and shooting them to the shores of Canada. We didn't take your planes and run them into the building. We ain't done none of that. All the crime that white people is complaining about is black on black.
Now, you know, I agree with some of the things that Charleston White say, and I disagree with some of the things that Charleston White say. You know what I'm saying? Because he be going off sometime, and I'll be like, what the hell, man? You was doing good till you said that bullshit. You know, but he right. You know, we didn't get the opportunity that they had to be in a good position or whatnot. And it's more fathers, more black fathers in their children's life than any race or whatnot. This ain't the first time I heard this. But we could look down on like, you know, like we ain't shit. Like, you know, we scum of the earth and shit. Y'all know how they look at us. Y'all know how y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know how they do us and whatnot. We need to be taken out. You know. But we built this America. Our ancestors built America, where they can walk around freely and, you know what I'm saying? Everything's good. It's like they say, everybody want to come to the United States. I wonder why. I wonder what everybody want to come to the United States if the so-called African American was gone. I don't think people want to come here. I don't think so. But this man said a lot of bad things about black people. And I don't get where people feel like, oh, you should mourn, or if you're not mourning, then you're a bad person and all that. Hey man, what the hell with these people, what they saying? Ain't nobody gonna control my feelings or who I mourn for, none. Did any of these people, and if you ask if any of these people mourn for what is his name? The young man who got taken out by Zimmerman. I forget his name. I don't know why I'm forgetting his name, because it's always, you know what I'm saying, on my mind. But did any of them mourn for him? This guy Kirkland said that, damn, it's just on my tip of my tongue. Yeah, Trayvon Martin. There you go. Appreciate that, Lindsay. But they saying, this guy Kirkland said that Trayvon Martin was hunting down Zimmerman. And it's like, dude, you couldn't have knew about the story or whatever. The police told Zimmerman not to follow him. Stand down. Leave him alone. But no, he's one of these neighborhood watch dudes or whatever. You know, it's a black man in our neighborhood. He not allowed to be here or whatever. Y'all know how I go. But this is another video of Charleston White, and he talking about this dude Kirkland.
Kirk didn't look at his people's problem. He stayed looking at black people's problem as if we're the problem. We're not the problem. We don't have an impact on foreign and free trade that allow all these immigrants into the white man's country. We didn't bring them over here. We didn't bring the dope. The CIA and FBI have never targeted no group of people like they have targeted black people.
Charleston White is calling out Charlie Kirk, and as you've heard, he said Kirk never focused on fixing problems within his own community. Instead, he spent his time pointing fingers at black people, as if they were the source of America's issues. White argued that black Americans aren't the ones shaping foreign trade, opening borders, or flooding the streets with frogs. He reminded viewers that it was government agencies, like the CIA and FBI, that historically targeted black communities harder than anyone else. And And then he dropped the most explosive line, quoting former FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover, who once said there would never be a black messiah unless they created one themselves. The way Charleston frames it, America has always needed a scapegoat, and politicians like Kirk used black communities to score points while ignoring the struggles of their own. It's a bold, divisive take, one that raises bigger questions about free speech and who actually gets blamed for the country's problems. So, do you think Charleston crossed the line, or is he saying what no one else will say out loud?
He's saying what nobody else will say out loud. You know what I'm saying? You talk about the CIA and the FBI or whatnot, and you know him mentioning this this FBI director, and I don't know how old a lot of y'all is, but back in the 80s, the early 80s or whatever, I guess around 80, let's just say early 80s or whatnot, you know, it was devastating as far as what the crack scene did to our people or whatnot. If only people would know how many lives that drug destroyed. I mean, man, it's unbelievable. If you knew how many people lost their lives because of that, you know, they ain't have to be smoking it or, you know what I'm saying, dealing with it. They can just be innocent bystanders of, you know, drug gangs or whatnot fighting over turfs. People lost their life like that. You know what I'm saying? It was like a domino effect. You didn't have to be dealing with the drug, you know what I'm saying, one-on-one. You could have been with somebody selling drugs. Y'all just friends. And you get taken out like that. The things that happened, man, that I seen with my own eyes, because I was in the midst of that back in the 90s, the early 90s. That's when, you know, well, I'm going to say late 80s. When I got into that type of those type of activities or whatnot, you know, and me myself to this day, I do not feel proud about that, man, because that shit fucked our community up, man. Like, people is affected by that till this day. You know what I'm saying? Their fathers not being there, their mothers not being there. You know, it's an effect to this day. But let me read Brother Linzel's comment. Brother Linzel said, Trump and the head of the military have been speaking out against us a lot lately. Yeah. Because they need a scapegoat. And you know they coming for us. You know, in the scriptures, they coming for us, man. We on deck. We next, man. You know what I'm saying? As far as to the bullseye. We gonna be the next bullseye, even though, you know what I'm saying, we've always been the bullseye. Right? But this affected that crack cocaine, man, it affected a lot. I've done prison time. You know, I've done 5 years for dealing with that shit, you know. And I've seen dudes with life sentences. You know what I'm saying? I've seen dudes do 25, 30 years and get out and glorify that shit. Now that's the thing that get me too, how they glorify, how I was out there making all this money and I had, you know, all these women and all that stuff. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, like, man, that shit wasn't, that not one time did I feel good about doing that shit, man. Cause when I was doing, I'm gonna tell you like this, when I was doing it, I knew it was wrong. I knew it. It was just a feeling inside of me, this ain't right. This ain't right. I knew it wasn't right. And as far as me going to prison or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? I never was bitter. You know, I knew that it was a trap set out there for me, but to be on some real honest shit, like I needed to go. Like I needed to sit my ass down. Just like a lot of these young people out here, these YNs, they need to sit their ass down for a minute, man. Because I was lucky that I went to prison. It could have been worse. A lot of dudes ain't make it that was around me, man. A lot of dudes ain't make it, man. You know what I'm saying? They not here to tell a story. You know? And man, I'm saying you, man, if I tell y'all the stories that I know, man, y'all be like, God damn. You seen a lot, man. And I have seen a lot, man. I'm 51 years old, man. And I've seen a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? As far as being out there in the streets, man. I wasn't just in Detroit. I was in Columbus, Ohio. I was in goddamn Canton, Ohio. I was in Muncie, Indiana. Man, I was going all around. A young dude, man. I don't get the name OG for nothing. It was like I was before my time. You know, and again, I trip about how these dudes be glorifying how they then destroyed their communities. And they talk about, you know, this my block. No, that ain't y'all block. That's not y'all block, man, because the police come and shut all that goddamn shit down. And had your ass doing goddamn 50 years. And to sit your ass down, and they'll let some little young another YN come, and he'll be next on deck or whatnot to get 100 years for doing something stupid. Because it was stupid as hell of me in that lifestyle. Because I felt like, oh, well, I don't need to work, or, you know, they ain't paying enough and all that shit. Y'all know how much they was paying me when I went to prison? Guess. 18 cents a fucking hour. And I always had it in my mind, you know what I'm saying, when I was in there making, and you had to work. Because if you ain't work, then they was going to send your ass to a jail within a jail. You know what I'm saying? You see the psychological shit that they'll take you through? Because, you know, a lot of times I went to the hole, I'll be like, man, or they try to threaten you with the hole. Like, man, I'm already locked up, man. That's just another jail. What's the difference in shit? I can't talk to another dude? Take me to corner pocket then. Just like they threaten you on the streets or whatever. I'll take you to jail. Man, I'll tell them in a minute, man. I don't give a damn. That jail shit don't scare me. But it's people, you know what I'm saying? Some of our people that's you know, like lukewarm. They talk about some real shit one minute, but then they start kissing their ass, or, oh, they ain't all that bad and all that shit. And I'm like, I can't get with that, man. I can't get with that. I'd rather you either stay over there or you stay over here with us who know what the hell going on and whatnot. Who gonna say, oh, hell no, we ain't buying this shit. Well, we don't believe you as far as y'all telling us this man hung himself. Or we don't believe you as far as y'all saying that this man caused this accident. And he unalived himself. But y'all know how our people is and shit, you know what I'm saying? They want to fit in the best way they can, or they want to try to make some money the best way they can. And if it's kissing the master ass, then so be it. That's what it's going to be. But that's my time, y'all. I hope y'all have a blessed Shabbat or whatnot. Shout out to Brother Linzel. Anybody else? Shout out to my baby boy. You know, he said something in the chat. He was watching. Shout out to them. Shout out to my wife, Grown Folk Talk. Old girl, y'all know her. Same time next week. Most High willing. Y'all know how shit happen every week. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if the Most High, he want me to, you know, do a live or whatnot, y'all know I'm gonna be on here, man. I don't feel like I'm doing this on my own will or to try to gain some type of fame or notoriety or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this to possibly open some more of our people's eyes or whatnot to what we dealing with and who we are. You know, and to come back to the Most High, so we can, you know what I'm saying, we can get out these conditions that we in, man. Because I'm tired of being in these conditions and whatnot, you know, and I'm tired of being under these goddamn evil, wicked ass people. I know y'all tired. I know y'all got to be tired, man. There's too much bullshit that they doing, right? But I'm gonna go on and get out of here, and I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Riding with me or whatever. You know, the few that do. And matter of fact, hold on. Let me put up Brother Linzel comment that he had. That he put up. He said, or they bring in a Starbucks and gentrify the whole neighborhood. Right, exactly, right. Right. They'll tear our communities down and build some shit where they can go and walk and be peaceful and all that stuff and have the police over there, police in that area and shit. But again, same time next week, man, you know, I'm gonna be praying for y'all, man. Y'all keep the commandments, keep y'all head on the swivel or whatnot, you know. And with that being said, I'm gonna say shalom. Peace out, y'all.